99% of the time, when people hear North Wales, they're thinking of a country in Wales, United Kingdom. But when I hear North Wales, I think of something completely different. When I hear North Wales, I think of a small township here in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, home of about 27,000 residents, and a community that I'm extremely fond of. So in this video, I want to share with you 3 things about North Wales, starting with what people do. I also want to share with you some of my favorite places in this community. And lastly, I want to tell you a little bit about what you can expect if you were to decide to live here in North Wales, Montgomery County. Let's go.
So speaking of things to do, let's start with the 202 trail. Now this trail actually expands from North Wales all the way down to Doylestown. And quite often you can find people out here jogging, running, cycling, or maybe just enjoying the day. But there's plenty more to do here in North Wales. As a matter of fact, we have our own movie theater, plenty of shopping, including our very own mall. We have plenty of dining options and our very own brewery. Speaking of which, let's go check them out. So now that I shared with you a few things that people like to do in North Wales, I want to share with you some of my favorite places here in North Wales. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a foodie, so these are some of my favorite places to go to either eat or enjoy an adult beverage, if you wouldn't mind. Speaking of which, we are at 107 Brewing, which actually is in North Wales. So if you're in North Wales or a resident of North Wales, you're fortunate enough to have a phenomenal brewery right in your backyard. If you're looking for a phenomenal breakfast spot because you gotta start the day out right, Everything Bagel is by far one of my favorite breakfast places in North Wales. They say that the best bagels come from New York. Well, I would challenge that, and I ask you to stop by and check out Everything Bagel and let me know what you think as well. Now for lunch, you gotta check out Grand Rodeo, right off of 309, one of the best Mexican spots in the neighborhood. And if you love margaritas, trust me, this is the place you wanna go. Definitely one of the best margaritas, and the happy hour is to die for. And after you've had lunch and you're ready to settle down and have a really nice dinner, well, that's when you want to head over to the Joseph Ambler Inn. Now this place is really cool, and if you want to spend the night here, well, you can make accommodations to do that, because not only is it a restaurant and a bar, but as I mentioned, it's an inn. So you can plan to spend the weekend in North Wales, and Joseph Ambler Inn might be your place to stay. But if you have the kids with you and it's warm out, go check out Wonderlicks. Make sure the kids get some ice cream. And on your way out, if you love empanadas, check out the empanada shop right on Main Street in the heart of North Wales. So again, folks, these are just some of my favorite places in North Wales, and there's a laundry list of other places to go. And if you're seeing this and you have a favorite place in North Wales, well, also let me know and I'll be sure to check them out too. All right, so now that we've spent some time and spoke a little bit about what people do here in North Wales, and now that I've shown you some of my favorite places here in North Wales, now I want to tell you a little bit about the lifestyle that comes along with living in North Wales. So North Wales is a community of roughly 29,000 residents. And statistically speaking, it is a family-friendly community because per citydata.com, roughly 47% of the households here in North Wales are families. Now, the kids here go to North Penn School District, which per niche.com is actually ranked in the top 50 for all schools in the state. It also is in the top 50 for the most diverse schools, and it actually ranks in the top 20 for the best schools for athletics. So this is a commendable school district, to say the least. Now, of the 29,000 residents, the average age of the residents here in North Wales is actually 42. So North Wales is also somewhat of a young community, and the average income here in North Wales is roughly $99,000 for the year, which is about $30,000 more than the state average income of $63,000 for the year. Now, some of the large employers when it comes to the North Wales area are companies like Merck Pharmaceuticals, Temple University, University of Penn, SAP, and JP Morgan. Now, there are other large or small employers, but those companies make up most of the market share when it comes to employment. Now, if you are looking to live in North Wales and you're wondering what the average sale price of the real estate here in this market is, well, as of 2021, the average sale price here in North Wales is right around $363,000. Now, for $363,000, there's actually several communities that you can choose from that offer either a condo style living or maybe a townhouse style living. And here and there in certain pockets of North Wales, you might even be able to find a single home for under $400,000. At the end of the day, North Wales is a phenomenal community with phenomenal schools and phenomenal residents. So if you are ever in the area or if you have any questions about North Wales, do me a favor. Reach out, let me know, because I would be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Once again, I'm Chris Nelson with Genstone Realty, team lead of the Nelson Home Group. Until next time, take care.